It is Wednesday, March 21st. We are in front of the Legion Hall where last night took place the Kanien'kehá of Kahnawà membership law, formerly known membership law. The second hearing phase began, part of the CDMP process. It's been a long time in the process. How did last night's meeting go?
Last night went extremely well, and I think the membership gang really did a lot of prep work ahead of time in order to make it run smoothly. Now, we have to remember that the first hearing phase ended about a year and a half ago, actually, and in that time, all of the input that came from the community was put into the law. And last night was basically the second hearing is, did we get it right? And by the looks of things, the way things started, they went through the most difficult of the questions, and that was the definition of great-grandparent. That took 5 meetings in the first hearing phase, and last night it took 40 minutes, and it was a complete consensus, full consensus. There wasn't an abstention or anything like that. So it was a very good start to this second hearing.
Okay, all of whatever passed last night, all by consensus. Besides the great-grandparent, what else was there?
The agenda included the preamble, which was a change that went back to more of the original preamble that had been there before. And it's one of those kind of documents where you just kind of stand up and cheer. So that one got a lot of support. The only thing that was added to it was to add the United Nations Declaration on Indigenous People, the rights of Indigenous people. That was added to it just to give it a little extra strength. Other than that, when you looked at the preamble, the purpose, the jurisdiction, all of these passed by full consensus and with very little change, usually only for added clarity. Then they went on to some of the other definitions, and 8 of them were passed, most by just a simple yes, because the consensus was clear, and a couple of them were deferred only because of the way the law was. Now that we had a clear idea, they're going to make some adjustments and bring those back on the agenda for the next meeting.
What are those?
And I don't have those in front of me here, but they were the terminology for Kanien'kehá of Kahnawà, for example. They just wanted that a little clearer, and some of the Kanien'kehá words, we wanted to make sure that they're absolutely right now that there have been some changes to the law. So they're very minor, but they're going to be brought back. And the consensus on everything last night was a full consensus. It did last the entire 2.5 hours, from 6 to 8:30, and by 8:30 the agenda was almost complete. So they have to go back to for about 5 more definitions, and then the full agenda will be presented probably sometime next week.
For those people who've been waiting a long, long time, we're talking years to get back on the list. Is this a light at the end of the tunnel here?
It is definitely a light at the end of the tunnel, and I think last night, as someone who's been in the process the entire time, you could see that people were enthusiastic in terms of the drafting team did a great job, because it did reflect what people said. And we had people from various backgrounds there who you thought maybe would disagree. And there was a lot of great questions and comments, but at the end of the day, everyone agreed, and you could see that it's moving along. I think there might be 1 or 2 things that may take a little bit of time, like the great-grandparent definition, but really the rest should be good to go. And I think those people who've been waiting a long time to get this completed are in a pretty good mood today.
Okay. Any estimation on how many more meetings will be required before it goes back for the final draft?
Well, this will be the final draft. I mean, after this, it should go to the final reading, which will be reading into the law. And by the looks of things, I'd say before the spring is done, we should be completely done and have this law passed.
Well, I'm guessing a lot of people will be happy about that. Next meeting taking place when?
The next one will be in 2 weeks. It'll be on Tuesday, April the 3rd, right after the Easter holiday. And the last meeting was here over at the Legion Hall. But the next one will be back at our usual location, which is the Golden Age Club. Once again, Tuesday, April 3rd, 6 p.m. till 8:30 p.m. And we hope lots of people come out and have your say on a law that is very important to Kahnawà.
Thank you, Joe.